Devaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet Nishtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamashloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nishtake Durlabho Manusho Deho Dehinam Shanabhamburai Tatrapi Durlabham Manye Vaikuntha Priya Darshanaham Anandalila Maya Vigrahaya Himabhadivya Chavisundaraya Tasmai Mahapremarasa Pradaye Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste Shri Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste. Since Rath Yatra is coming, we'll read some prayers for Lord Jagannath. Deva Deva Jagannatha Prapanarti Vinashana Trahimam Pundari Kaksha Patitam Bhavasagari Jai Devi Bhakti Datri Prasiddha Parameshwari Jai Devi Subhadra Tvam Sarvesham Bhadradaini Namaste Halagraha Namaste Mushalayudha Namaste Revati Kanta Namaste Bhaktavatsala Sudarshana Mahajwala Koti Surya Samaprabha Ajnana Timirandhanam Vaikuntabda Pradarshakam Nilachala Nivasaya Nityaya Paramatmane Balabhadra Subhadrabhyam Jagannathaya Te Namaha Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare Hare Gurvi Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna, dear worshipful devotees, thank you so much for joining. We are reading Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 4, entitled Ambarish Maharaj Offended by Durvâsâ Muni. So, we were talking about the parallels between Ambarish Maharaj, or the contrasting nature of a pure devotee of Lord Hari, the power of bhakti versus the power of mystic yoga, the power of impersonalist meditation. So here, Durvâsâ Muni is hungry and he's feeling agitated, he's trembling, angry, frowning. How dare Ambarish Maharaj break his vow before honoring his special esteemed guest, that is me, the great Durvâsâ Muni. Because a humble person, of course, we are learning lessons, no offense to Durvâsâ Muni. A humble person would never feel, okay, there must be some situation, he had to eat, it's fine, what's the big deal? I'm lower than the worm in the stool, so what's the big deal? He didn't offer me. But Durvâsâ Muni, was very angry. How dare he disrespect his guest? Ambarish Maharaj was also very, very hungry. It's not that he had eaten Chappan Bhoga, or it's not that he had cheated Durvâsâ. That or just on the name of excuse, oh, I had to break my vow, therefore I ate this Chappan Bhoga. He just barely drank little water and was standing with folded hands. So let's see what happens further. Text 44. Aho asyandra sam nishansasya shriyon matasya pashyata dharmya vratikramam vishnur abhaktasyena maninaha. Translation, purport by His Divine Grace. A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Alas, just see the behavior of this cruel man. He is not a devotee of Lord Vishnu, being proud of his material opulence and his position. He considers himself God. Just see how he transgressed the laws of religion. Purport. Srila Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur has delivered the entire meaning of this verse as spoken by Durvâsâ Muni. Durvâsâ Muni used the word nrsamshayasya to indicate that the king was cruel, but Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur interprets it to mean that king's character was glorified by all local people. He says the word nira means by all the local people, and that some samasya, some sham sham sasya means of he, Ambarîsha, whose character was glorified. Similarly, one who is very rich becomes mad because of his wealth and is therefore called Shri Unmattasya. But Srila Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur interprets these words to mean that although Maharaj Ambarîsha was such an opulent king, he was not mad after money, for he had already surpassed the madness of material opulence. Similarly, the word Isha Maninaha is interpreted to mean that he was so respectful to the Supreme Personality of Godhead that he did not transgress the laws for observing Ekadashi Parana, despite the thinking of Durvâsâ Muni, for he only took water. In this way, Srila Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur has supported Maharaj Ambarîsha and all his activities. Hare Krishna. So here, basically, Durvâsâ Muni is very mad upon Ambarish Maharaj, and he's saying him cruel. He thinks he's God. He thinks very proud of material wealth. He thinks he does not bother to care about the codes of religion, primarily guest reception. He's ignoring a great saint like me, the great Durvâsâ Muni. He thinks he's a devotee of Lord, but he's not a devotee of Lord Vishnu. In short, he is giving left and right to Durvâsâ Ambarish Maharaj. But our great acharyas support here Ambarish Maharaj, because we have already seen in the past verses in this chapter that that Ambarish Maharaj was such a noble character in his devotion, in his detachment from wealth, family, elephants, all the soldiers. He was completely absorbed, 100% unalloyed devotee. So such a person is not involved in all these things. Therefore, Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur is giving like a hidden meaning to these words, like Nirisham Sasya, like Shriya Unmatasya, like Isha Maninaha, etc. These three words are here used, that how he was very careful to Ekadashi and careful to the Supreme Lord. So, and it's often actually seen that one who is proud of himself will think others are also proud of themselves. Like one who likes to eat samosas also think that everyone likes to eat samosas, or any other sweet. One who likes to eat pizza will think that everyone likes to eat pizza. This is often seen. Have you felt that, Prabhu or Mataji? Right?
Yes, Prabhu.
So we see the world in our own as our own reflection of our own consciousness. I'll tell a short story in this regard. One time there was like a magic mirrors, in circus and all, there's like magic mirrors, where there's convex mirror, concave mirrors, and different kinds of mirror. The shapes look fat, thin, and up and down and upside down, whatnot. So our dog went there, and he didn't know. He thought, oh wow, there's so many wonderful dogs here. And he was in a very good, jolly mood. He was wiggling his tail and nicely saying hi to everyone. And then everyone said hi back to him. And then he had a fun time there. And he said, wow, such nice people, such wonderful, nice friends here. I'll come here every time. And then he said to another of his friend that, oh, you must go to this place. This is so nice dogs, so nice, friendly, loving, welcoming, kind, caring people. You must go. But this dog, had a tough time with his this boss, I guess, or maybe the home boss or the office boss. We don't know the details, but he had a tough time, and he was in a very bad mood and like frowning practically. So he went to that magic mirror and he was like growling and angry and upset, and everyone was, the world is a mirror of our own consciousness. Everyone was just reflecting that, because similarly, the lesson is that he said that I'll never come to this place. This is ugly, horrible. People are so unkind and frowning and angry. But it is just a reflection of our consciousness. Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur says, I see faults in others because I am honeycombed with faults. Of course, this is a great Acharya trying to teach us by example that we see defects in others because those defects are in us. So here Durvâsâ Muni is giving left and right, calling him with bad words. So let's see what happens further in this text. So you want to read, Prabhuji, Mataji?
Sure, I can read. 45. Yo mam atitam ayatam adityena nimantraya cha adat adatva bhuktha vamstasya sadhyaste drasye palam. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Mahârâja Ambarîsha, you have invited me to eat as a guest, but instead of feeding me, you yourself have eaten first. Because of your misbehavior, I shall show you something to punish you. Purport. A devotee cannot be defeated by so-called mystic yogi. This will be proved by the failure of Durvâsâ Muni's endeavor to chastise Mahârâja Ambarîsha. Harau abhaktasya kuto mahat guna. Bhagavatam 5:18-12. One who is not a pure devotee of the Supreme Lord has no good qualification. However great a mystic, philosopher, a fruity worker he may be, only a devotee emerges victorious in all circumstances, as well be shown in the incident involving the rivalry between the Durvâsâ and Mahârâja Ambarîsha. So Hare Krishna Prabhuji, wonderful verse here. So we can see that how Amrish Maharaj, as you rightly said, whatever we have in our heart reflects. So he was envious. So he actually thought Maharaj Amrisha was envious, even though he was a pure devotee of the Lord. So Srila Prabhupada gives a very nice example here that a pure devotee of the Supreme Lord, even though he has no qualifications, even though he's an illiterate, but he's still a great. So we have seen like Mother Shabari, she was, not very literate, but she had a great love and devotion for God. And we can see here, of course, Durvâsâ Muni is showing as an example. So he was a great mystic, philosopher, and he had a lot of knowledge. He can do all the Vedas and whatever, but in front of a devotee, he was, nothing. That's my understanding. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Such a nice verse. Prabhupada so clearly mentions a devotee cannot be defeated by a so-called mystic yogi. Referring to Durvâsâ Muni here, mystic yogi. And the devotee means bhakti yogi. So in this text 12 of Bhagavatam, chapter 18, Canto 5, it is a very nice verse which Prabhupada often mentions in the purports, etc. Sarve gunai tatra samasate sura. That yasyasti bhaktir bhagavati yakinchana sarve gunai tatra samasate sura. Hari Harava bhaktasya kuto mahadguna manorathena sati dhavati bahi. Those who are not bhakti yogis, not devotees of Lord, will not have any good quality. Kuto mahadguna. But rather, on the other hand, who is a devotee of Lord has all the great qualities. Maybe we can, draw some, you can write some qualities here. We can see some qualities, or you're able to see my screen?
Now it's coming up.
Okay. So we can draw some parallels here, or contrasts here. So the differences, feel free to share. Ambarish Maharaj, and on the other side we have Durvâsâ Muni. So, oops. So what's coming to your mind, Ji Mataji?
So Ambarish Maharaj, like all Navavida Bhakti, he was love and devotion towards the Lord.
Yes, so I think the first point is the process itself. Maybe. So he was following the Bhakti Yoga. We have discussed that verse, Savai Mana Kṛṣṇa Padara Vindayor. So engaging full of devotion, the bhakti. On the other hand, the process for Durvâsâ Muni was meditating on impersonal Brahman. So mystic like yoga or meditation, impersonal. We can talk about the qualities, some of the qualities. We can talk about how to deal with challenges. So what qualities we see in Ambarish Maharaj's?
Controlling his senses, anger.
Yeah, controlling senses. Nice. Anger, etc. And Durvâsâ Muni was a victim of anger, right?
Yes.
And frowning, mad, right? Trembling, the body's trembling. He's like very hot. We can add more if we think how they both dealt with challenges. So the challenge was first challenge was a dilemma to Ambarish Maharaj. He consulted Vaishnavas, right? It was a difficult time before he broke his fast, which we discussed. Yes, he consulted Brahmanas. He didn't make a whimsical decision, right? He consulted Brahmanas, Vaishnavas, and then after that he was like there with folded hands. He was humble. We learned the word folded hands. Basically accepted whatever the wrath of Durvâsâ Muni. Right? He didn't give excuses. Well, I didn't eat. I was doing it for you only. I was waiting for you. You're misunderstanding me. All that stuff. He just with folded hands accepted. On the other hand, did Durvâsâ Muni consult before being so angry upon
No, he
Ambarish?
didn't.
Yeah, so he made decision by himself, right?
Yeah, he just did that. He didn't consult Ambarish.
Sorry, please.
He made a whimsical decision,
No,
thinking he's right. And then how
Yeah.
he dealt with challenge. The challenge here, what we see so far, when we will continue this discussion. Yeah, sorry.
A demon came to.
No, not now. Later. His challenges.
What's the challenge so far? The challenge is that The first, when he got the news, or when he got to know that Ambarîsha has eaten, right? So he was mad. He was angry, right? He was furious.
He was just furious. He does not know what is gonna like.
Yeah.
What is wrong with him?
He was short-tempered also.
Yeah, short-tempered. And then he is telling Durvâsâ, so basically saying harsh words to Ambarîsha and jumping to conclusions. We also see that. He didn't try to clarify with Ambarîsha either. That why did you drink this water? Right? It's a small thing. Was it to insult me? Was it to disrespect me? If there would have been proper communication here, then if it was a very small thing, Ambarîsha would have clarified.
Prabhupada, he was not humble because he was meditating on the impersonal Brahman. He was not humble.
Yes, Kuto Mahadguna, not humble, right?
And judging things before seeking respect.
Seeking respect, like he wanted that he should be respected. How dare Ambarîsha eat before I will eat? So very, very classic examples we see that how the power of bhakti yoga or devotion to God, Kṛṣṇa, is much, much higher, right? So here we see that how a bhakti yoga is much, much higher than a mystic yoga. Prabhupada is writing that. And we will see that further also, but this is so far. Anyone else has any other thoughts to add so far before we move on? Okay. So we have to see, where do I fit in? Do I fit in here like Ambarish Maharaj? Am I also victim of anger, seeking respect, not humble, angry when things don't go the way I would like them to go? Ambarish Maharaj wanted that he should be given first prasadam. How do I react to those? This is not the story about Ambarîsha and Durvâsâ. This is lesson for us. Durvâsâ Muni is a great soul, we know that. But this is a lesson for us. How do I also jump to conclusions without proper clarifications? Or do I accept, like Ambarish Maharaj? Do I try to control my anger? Do I consult the devotees and brahmanas before making any important decisions in life? So, we have to migrate from here to here. That's our goal. That will please Kṛṣṇa. Okay. So we can read next verse. Yes. Kṛṣṇa, you want to read?
Yes, Prabhuji.
46.
Okay, for 36.
Continue.
Evam bruvana yukreya jatam rosha prapita tasyasa nirman tesham kritayam kalpino
Kalan.
kalalo papamum. Translation. As Durvâsâ Muni said, his face became red with anger, uprooted a bunch of his and created a demon resembling like the blaze of fire devastation to punish Maharaj Ambarish. Thank you, Prabhupada.
Thank you. What did you learn from this verse?
I learned that Durvâsâ Muni was just reacting quickly. He was not stopping or first he had to think about himself, like did he made any conclusions with Maharaj Ambarîsha before reacting. He has to think. He did not think, he just did it. So sometimes people do not think and they just do a wrong thing. So that's how Durvâsâ Muni was acting on Maharaj Ambarîsha. And he created a demon, which represents, demons are bad. They represent envy, want to destroy everything, like Vishnu sacrifices. They want to be the ruler of the whole world.
Thank you. This is wonderful. So when we are very angry, red hot, we are red, right? The mode of passion overpowers us and we lose our ability to think properly, right? Our intelligence is lost. Do you know, Kṛṣṇa, any verse which tells us that?
Krodhat bhavati sammoha, sammohat smriti vibhramaha, smriti bhramshat buddhinasho, buddhinashat pranashyati.
So which part of this verse tells that our intelligence is lost?
Our intelligence is lost when we come to the mode of passion, because passion, you want to do things so quickly. You want to become the champion without studying. Well,
Prabhuji is asking, Krodhat Bhavati Sammoha.
so that like intelligence is lost, and well, when intelligence is lost, like one falls down again into the material pool. Because without intelligence, we won't have nothing to actually.
Very good. This is the right verse. Which is the verse number?
Verse number is 2.62.
62, and this one is 63, right?
Yeah, I said 62.
63? Okay, good. So in the heat of anger, one cannot make good decisions because the intelligence is lost and one just falls down. Therefore, we should not make decisions or react to this situation. We should respond to situations. Reaction, abrupt reaction, short-temperedness will never lead to good decision. So one great soul says, we should never make decisions when we are too happy or too sad or too angry or any extreme emotion, or too tired or too excited, too angry, too happy. Also, we should not make decisions because it may not be a good decision. Because we are in the dvanda, extremes, happy or sad, etc. So we don't make stable decisions. So at the spur of a moment, took out a hair, boom, and a fire demon, like fire of devastation. Can we imagine? So he was a mystic yogi, so he had a lot of strength. So he created a demon. What was the mistake? Just think about the mistake. First of all, it was not a mistake. And the thing was that he just drank little water. Does it? It doesn't sound rational. Even if he was to be punished, to create a fire demon equivalent to the fire of devastation. So, but the intelligence is lost. So one cannot make sane decisions. Therefore, sometimes, when one great said, why do we shout in anger? The person whom maybe be shouting upon is just maybe 5 feet away, 7 feet away. But the person 70 feet away also can hear it. Why? Because the intelligence is lost. That we don't need to shout. The person is just next to us. We can, even if we talk in a lower volume, the person will be able to hear. But intelligence is lost. One cannot make sane decisions. And this is very, very, impulsive behavior is seen. So, a lot of practical lessons in these verses. So let's read the next one. Yes, Aparna Mataji, you want to read? Aparna Madam, you would like to read?
I'm not able to see the text.
You don't see? It's on the screen.
Yeah, right? I'm able to see it now.
Okay.
Tam apatam javatam pada bhuvam, vepanti samudikshan na chachalam pada nipa. Translation. Taking a trident in his hand and making the surface of the earth tremble with his footsteps, the blazing creature came before Maharaj Ambarîsha. But the king, upon seeing him, was not at all disturbed and did not move even slightly from his position. Should I read the purport? Narayana par sarve na kutasana vivayati. A pure devotee of Narayana is never afraid of any material danger. There are many examples of devotees such as Prahlad Maharaj, who was tortured by his father, but he was not at all afraid, although he was only a 5-year-old boy. Therefore, following the examples of Ambarîsha Maharaj and Prahlad Mahârâja, our devotees should um, learn how to tolerate all such awkward position in this world. Devotees are often tortured by non-devotees, yet the pure devotee, depending fully mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is never disturbed by such uh, inimicable activities. Back to you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji. So, the whole surface of the earth was trembling. By whom? By this monstrous or monster, the fire monster, the Trijita.
Yeah. The demon, like, I think his, like,
Yes. Now, how did let's think about if this kind of monster is in front of us, was torturing the whole earth or trembling the whole earth. But Ambarish Maharaj did not even slightly, very, very specific words are used, did not even slightly move from his position. You have to meditate upon that. Why? Narayana para sarve nakutashna bhaviyati swarga pavarga narkeshu apitulyartha darshinaha. Those who are Narayana paraha, that means they have taken full shelter of Kṛṣṇa, Narayana nakutashna bhaviyati. Bhaya, there is no bhaya. Why? Because Marabi Rakhobi, Amito Tomar, Kṛṣṇa, you protect me or kill me, I am yours. Because without the sanction of the Lord, can this monstrous kill Ambarish? No. And if Kṛṣṇa wants, even a tiny insect will kill. That's the faith Ambarish Maharaj has. That's the faith Prahlad Maharaj has. And he was killed. Attempt was made to kill him by so many ways, by throwing him off the cliff, feeding poison, and burning him alive, and whatnot. Every attempt was made to kill him, but he was fearless. Abhay Charna Aravinda. Srila Prabhupada, his name is Abhay. Abhay Charna. And those who have taken shelter of the Supreme Lord, his lotus feet, they are fearless. So, why fear when Kṛṣṇa is near? Right? So, tolerance. Tatte nukampam susumikshvano bhunja nivatma kritam vipakam ridvag vipurbhir vidadhan namaste jivetya mukti pade sadaya bhak. Lord Brahma says in Canto 10, chapter 14, that those who tolerate the reversals, continuing to worship with body, mind, and words, the Supreme Lord, then they will become a rightful recipient of back home, back to Godhead. Anyone else knows any verse which talks about tolerance? Kṛṣṇa, you know any verse which talks about tolerance?
Tolerance?
You're learning, it's in the list of your 50 verses. You have exams soon, right?
2.14.
Oh yeah, 2.14. Matra sparshasta kanteya sitoshna sukadukada agamapayano nityas tamte dikshashva bharata. You have
Good
to
job.
tolerate. Yeah, I was thinking about that. You have to tolerate something happy or sad. That's what Durvâsâ Muni was doing. He didn't tolerate. He was just becoming angry, but he has to think before doing it.
What does titikshva mean in this verse? You know that?
Titikshva means like don't be happy or sad.
Yes, titikshva means tolerant. There's one more verse in the Bhagavatam by Kapil Muni. Titikshva karunika suhrida sarva bhutanam ajata shatrava shanta sadhava sadhubhushanam. Sadhubhushanam. These are the qualities of great souls. What? They are titikshva. Tam titikshva, Arjuna. Tam titikshva, Bharata. We become tolerant. This is the foremost quality, which here who is showing? Ambarish Maharaj is showing that quality. Prahlad Maharaj is showing that quality. Haridas Thakur is showing that quality. Prabhupada is showing that quality. All the great souls are showing that quality again and again. Why? Because they have full faith in the plan of the Lord. If Kṛṣṇa wants, so be it. That's because they have taken full shelter of the Supreme Lord's lotus feet. Let's see the next verse. Yes, Mataji, you want to read?
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Danda Pranam, all the devotees. 48. Praktistam Vritya Rakshayam Purushena Mahatmana Dadaha Krityam Tam Chakram Kruddhahim Iva Pavakaha. Translation purport by Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. As fire in the forest immediately burns to ashes an angry snake, so by the previous order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, his disc, the Sudarshan Chakra, immediately burned to ashes the created demon to protect the Lord's devotee. Purport. As a pure devotee, Maharaj Ambarish, although in such danger, did not move an inch from his position, nor did he request the Supreme Personality of Godhead to give him protection. He was fixed in understanding, and it was certain that he was simply thinking of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the core of his heart. A devotee is never fearful of his death, for he meditates on the Supreme Personality of Godhead always, nor for any material profit, but as his duty. The Lord, however, knows how to protect his devotees, as indicated by the words Pragdishtam. The Lord knew everything. Prabhuji, can you move a little bit down? Pragdishtam. The Lord knew everything. Therefore, before anything happened, he had already arranged for his chakra to protect Maharaj Ambarîsha. This protection is offered to a devotee even from the very beginning of his devotional service. Kaunteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranishati. Bhagavad-gītā 9.31. If one simply begins devotional service, he is immediately protected by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is also confirmed in Bhagavad-gītā 18:66. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami. Protection begins immediately. The Lord is so kind and merciful that he gives the devotee proper guidance and all protection, and thus the devotee very peacefully makes solid progress in Krishna consciousness without outward disturbances. A serpent may be very angry and ready to bite, but the furious snake is helpless when faced by a blazing fire in the forest. Although an enemy of a devotee may be very strong, he is compared to an angry serpent before the fire of devotional service. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. You want to share some insights?
Yeah, here let's mention nicely like how Lord is always Bhakta Vatsala. So that's why we mention Bhakta Vatsala Bhagavan, Sri Krishna. So devotees are always eager to serve Krishna, but Krishna is already like always thinking about the devotees. He's always serving devotees also. So today only we are reading in the Bhagavatam. So when we are helplessly calling out Krishna's name, he will come and he will protect us. Even though here Lord, he didn't pay to Lord Krishna or Lord Vishnu that please protect me, Ambarish Maharaj is killing. So Darshan Chakra came automatically to protect the devotees, because that's how dedication he has a faith on Lord Krishna and on his bhakti and his service. So when we are in that stage, we don't even moved by any outer material attachments or any like the senses. If somebody do the wrong way also, we have to control our senses, our anger, and then we have to have a complete faith on Krishna. Then only Krishna will protect and help us. And in the Purport Prabhupada mentioned, in the starting stage also, if devotees have faith in Krishna, Krishna will protect. So that's what I understood, Prabhuji. So we just need to have a complete faith, and we are not supposed to move away from this devotional service. Coming to Krishna consciousness is easy, but maintaining and sustaining is so very, very hard. So we have to practice that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. You all are doing so nicely. It's amazing. So what is some serpent analogous to in this example? What is some serpent compared to?
Anger.
Anger, yes. And what is that?
Lust.
Yeah, that's correct. But there are two things: serpent and the Sudarshan Chakra. Sorry, the fire of the jungle and the serpent. So the serpent is the monster, right? Although the monster may be very powerful, but in front of the forest fire, which is like the Sudarshan disc, right? We read the verse today only. Sudarshana Mahajwala Koti Surya Samaprabha. It's like millions of sun, the effulgence of millions of sun put together. Koti Surya. What can a tiny serpent do in front of forest fire? The serpent may be very venomous, angry, mad, but can he do something? Can he poison the forest fire and destroy the forest fire? No. So here, Lord Sudarshan Chakra is compared to forest fire. Immediately burned to ashes, the fire demon was, Maharaj was joking on this, I was hearing a class. The forest, the fire demon was burned to ashes. Can we comprehend that? You can't comprehend. Burnt fire, because the fire demon burned to ashes. That's interesting. Why? Because Kṛṣṇa is there to protect. Although his devotee did not ask, but we will see later in so beautiful verse, the Lord will say that how devotees live in my heart, I live in their heart. I know nothing but my devotees, devotees know nothing but me. I'm soul to my devotees. So how can that person, how the Supreme Lord, allow his devotee to be in danger? Name bhakta pranashati. My devotees will never perish. I will always be there. Haridas Thakur did not call, oh Gauranga, please protect me. But Lord came and enveloped him with his body in so many ways. Draupadi Mata, Gajendra, whether they call, like Prahlad Maharaj didn't even call. Sometimes they may call, sometimes they may not call, but they're always meditating upon the Supreme Lord. They have full faith in the Lord's plan. Therefore, the Lord takes care of them. Like a child. Sometimes the child is in danger, the parents, it's not the child. The child may feel I'm okay, but the parents will naturally help without the call of the child. So the forest fire compared to Sudarshan Chakra. Again, Prabhupada is mentioned, did not move even an inch, very specific. No, not even. So it's basically the point is there was not 0.01% fear in his heart. right? If we have to be in that situation, what will be our reaction? Of course, we don't have to imitate great souls, but at least we can see how difficult it is. A fiery demon about to kill us, and what will we do? Ambarish Maharaj said, okay, whatever Lord's plan is, simply fixed in Savai Manah Kṛṣṇa Padāravindayo. Thinking about Kṛṣṇa, never fearful. Prabhupada is writing, never fearful of his death. Because for a devotee, death is, means back home, back to Godhead. So why fear? Whether Kṛṣṇa wants me to live for one moment, 1 year, 10 years, or 100 years, whatever time he has planned for me, I'm happy with it. So that doesn't mean that we don't, take care of the body or become kind of lethargic. But the prayers are not for protection of body. It's a pure devotee. So you can try to follow in the footsteps. Any other comments, any additions, questions here? Okay. Yes. Yes, Prabhu, you wanted to say something?
No, Prabhuji. Yeah, and here it clearly says that the last line, although enemy of a devotee may be very strong, he is compared to angry serpent before the fire of devotion. So, in front of, like as you said, hundreds of suns, one small fire cannot withstand. Thank you.
Thank you. That's wonderful. Kṛṣṇa, you have to say something?
Yeah, so here describes that it describes that a certain, well, like actually Ambarish Maharaj, still he did not move an inch. But for us, well, we could understand this. He did not move an inch. But when we see the kind of Maya to us, it feels like we run away.
If you see that, he's telling that if he sees that, he'll run away.
No, I'm saying Maya is the
Oh,
demon
Maya,
for
okay.
Kali Yuga.
Oh, Maya is the demon for Kali Yuga. Okay.
So we should run away or we should not run away?
I would suppose not run away. Just go for it.
Yeah.
What is that demon for you? Do you have faced any such demon?
Yeah. Well, Maya was my demon, but she's bringing me more closer to Kṛṣṇa.
Okay. How did it?
Well, the hurdle is like,
You want to see
stop
TV?
worshiping Kṛṣṇa. I could go more and worship Kṛṣṇa. That is all.
Good. It's very nice. You want to learn this verse? Sudarshana's prayer? You know this?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Okay, tell.
Okay.
You know the Sudarshan's prayer?
18.6. Oh, no. Sudarshan prayer. Okay. I don't think so.
Okay, let's
Let me
memorize
try.
this one.
Here.
Sudarshana Mahajvala Koti Surya Samprabha Agnana
Jnana
Tya
Mirandhanam
Timirandhya
No.
Vaikunta Bodha
Pratap.
Aparadrasakha.
Okay, you repeat after me, okay?
Okay.
Sudarshana Mahajvala
Sudarshana Mahajvalan
Koti Surya Samaprabha
Koti Suri Samaprabha
Ajnana Timirandhanam
Ajnana Timiran Dhyana
Vaikuntabda Pradarshaka.
Vaikuntabdya Pradarshaka.
So Sudarshana Mahajvala. Jwala means Agni or fire. Mahajvala, very, very great.
Yeah.
Compared to what? Koti, millions, Surya, sun, Samaprabha, effulgence or radiance, brilliance.
Yeah.
Ajnana, what does ajnan mean?
Ajnana means like darkness of ignorance. You
Yes.
remove the darkness.
What does Timirandha mean?
Reveal the path of the eternal world.
Oh, you are just reading from there. No, Timirandha, you read this word, right? Om Agyan Timirandhasya. Right?
Yeah.
Ajnana, darkness, ignorance.
So it dispels. Timir Andha. No. So it destroys Agyana. So to destroy, Guru also destroys. Om Agyana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur. So that's the same word here, Timirandha, Timirandhasya, Timirandhana, Vaikuntha, spiritual world. Abdha Pradarshaka, Darshaka, Darshan. Darshan means to show, you know. But Path Pradarshak, Pradarshan, to show or reveal. So, O Sudarshana, you please reveal the path of eternal world, that is Vaikuntha. Okay, one more time. Sudarshana Mahajwala.
Sudarshana Mahajwal.
Koti Surya Samaprabha.
Surya Samaprabha.
Ajnana Timirandhanam.
Ajnana Timirandhyana.
Vaikunthabda Pradarshaka.
Vaikuntabdya Pradarshaka.
Good job. So you can this prayer.
Can I say the whole thing?
Okay, say.
Sudarshana Mahajwala Koti Surya Samaprabha Ajnana Timirandhyana Vaikuntabdya Pradarshaka.
You were saying it and seeing it and speaking, or you learned it?
I was seeing.
Okay, good. That's fine.
I'll do it without. Sudarshana Mahajwala Koti Surya Samaprabha Ajnana Timirandhyana Vaikuntabhya Pradarshaka.
Good job. Thank you. So we'll pause here and continue tomorrow with the next verse from here, and we'll see what happens next. Now the fire demon has been destroyed. We'll see tomorrow what happens further. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Purana ki jai, Shri Ambarish Maharaj ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samveta Gaura Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyaiva cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.